Last night, Nikola Jokic was ejected from Game 4, as you saw there, with a flagrant foul, too, after taking a wild swing in frustration at Cameron Payne. Michael Malone and Jokic were asked about it after the game. Let's take a listen.
Well, I think one of you guys should request to ask that question to one of the officials.
I did.
So I'd love to hear your answer. But I don't know. I think it was something along the lines of wind up, malicious intent, some other mumbo jumbo. But obviously, you lose the MVP. It's going to make it even harder to try to stave off elimination.
I thought I wanted to change the rhythm of the game. I wanted to give us some energy, maybe to change the whistle a little bit. So I tried to make a hard foul. Did I hit him? Did I hit him? Did I didn't hit him? We don't know. So I say sorry if I did, because I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't want to injure him or hit him in the head on purpose. So I watched the game in the locker room to cool off a little bit.
So players tweeted after the game, or actually in the moment, actually. Let's go to John Moran, who tweeted, "Playoff elimination game, give him a flagrant 1 and play ball, man." Trae Young also tweeted, "A flagrant 2? Wow." So Matt, was the ejection on Jokic too harsh?
Absolutely. I think if this is a regular season game, you possibly, with how soft the game is called now, that you possibly call this a flagrant 2. But considering the circumstance, elimination game in the second round of the playoffs with your MVP, and you got to look at, his history. He's never had. If this was me, I could see them throwing me out in this kind of situation because I've had some running. But Jokic hasn't had any of that. He's out there playing every day. Again, this is the MVP and elimination game. If anything, a flagrant 1, and like Josh said, keep it moving. But the fact that you took the best player off his team in an elimination game, and he's the MVP in the playoffs, it's just not a good look. I think they made a mistake.
You know why you're successful in life, Matt? Because you are self-aware.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right? You're like, if this is me, I'm probably getting thrown out.
Right.
And we're friends, so I can say this to you. It's probably true.
Right.
We're all friends here.
Yeah.
It's definitely true, Matt.
You're also not the MVP. No
Right.
offense.
Exactly.
That's not offensive.
Exactly.
He's the MVP.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you have to have that in your mind when you're in the if you win it, I know Jokic is not a traditional MVP, and it's taking people time to get their head around. The man won, and he deserved it.
Right.
And he should get that kind of call right there. Get the benefit of the doubt in an elimination game at home. I think it's a flagrant 1. Look, the windup, it was a dangerous play. If he misses by a little bit, I know it's a frustration foul. Kind of reminded me of that Andrew Bynum frustration foul on J.J. Barea a million years ago, right?
Yeah, the clothesline. That was a little different. That was a little different.
Okay, it was a dangerous play, yeah. And I understand why they called it. I just think, man, it's hard to do that to the MVP in the elimination game.
Well, and to your point, if we start judging intent or start trying to interpret intent, if we do that all across life, what do we do? A Minority Report with Tom Cruise? Because here's the deal. This is the example I put out on Twitter to somebody who questioned that. And I'm like, a fender bender, when you have an accident with your vehicles, an inch or two can make it a tragedy, right? But you're not judging someone and their fender bender off what could have happened if it became a tragedy.
Right.
He swung, right? He tried to knock the ball off, and it ended up hitting him in the face. It wasn't his intent.
Absolutely. And I didn't get to hear his thought process. I missed his post-game interview. But the fact that he said he wanted to change the momentum, I completely get that. It wasn't going for good with him right now. You get a technical foul, you fire up the season. Maybe you get a flagrant foul, you fire up your team, you fire up the crowd. But again, to throw the MVP out in an elimination game on a borderline call, it's frustrating, and it shows how soft the NBA is now, which is unfortunate.
I think also he got hurt by the fact that this was reviewed. If it was, when you saw it in real time, it might have been something you could just be flagrant 1, let's move on. But because it's reviewed and you saw the full wind-up,
yes,
they almost had no choice at that point. But that's part of the system here, right?
Did they? I think they had a choice. They could.
By the letter of the law, it's a flagrant 2. He wound up.
I know.
Intent,
they use all these, whatever the word I'm looking for. They use all these big words, malicious intent.
Yeah, you got it.
For my ear. But like I said, they try to make it seem like more than it was. But again, be aware of your surroundings. Know that you're in an elimination game in the home of the MVP. And to me, you let them slide with that, give them a flagrant foul.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.